for spring break, or not spring break, but Christmas break,
Sure.
sometime mid-December or something. And, as an athlete, she doesn't have as long to stay,
Mm-hmm.
but we get to cherish just those little moments, man. It's really nice to have her home.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Well, we got no Skylar today. Skylar is attending a closing for,
Oh, woo!
yeah, she's attending a closing this morning. So flying solo, and we're just looking at this market report and seeing what the trends are telling us. And we're waiting for December 1st to get here. And our first show in December will tell us what happened here in November. But we're just kind of going around and looking. Bob, I got to tell you, I think that in the spring we're
Yeah.
going to see the inventory kind of take a dip a little bit, even compared to where it's at, and that's even with the higher interest rates. We know that spring and summer are big markets here in North Texas. People get to moving around; they want to get settled in before their kids' next school year. So I do look at this and the fact that our inventory did not shoot up to 5 and 6. I mean, I'm looking here in Kaufman County, and they're at 3.7 months of inventory in September, and that shrunk to 3.5 in October. It looks like when December comes around and we have a look at November, it's a possibility that we're looking in Kaufman County around 3.3 months of inventory. But I gotta
Yeah.
say, that's the highest of all the counties that I've seen. And with Q1 not far away, and Q2 just around the corner, how time flies, man. We gotta sometimes look 6 months into the future.
Mhm.
I don't think that I think we're going to maintain this market. um
Yeah,
I
I agree. I mean, I think, back in 2007, when we all kind of compared that period of time to this one, I mean, we had 4 million homes available. They were on the market for sale. Now we're at like 1.2 million
mhm.
homes. And builders, kind of learned from what they did back in 2007, 8, 9. They were just starting as many homes as they could.
Sure.
And that's declined, right? I mean, starts are down 22%. Permits, I think, are down like 21%. So, I
Mhm.
mean, we're gonna see some things happen as inventory continues to stay low, and then you have interest rates where we're projecting, let's say, in first, second quarter of 2024 to be in the fives.
Mhm.
If you have that type of low inventory, you're going to have a lot of buyer demand. This pent up buyer demand that's been created with the gradual increase in interest rates from our lows. You're going to see more buyers enter the market, and so it's going to come with different challenges, right? I mean, we have challenges today that buyers are experiencing with those interest rates that have increased from the last couple of years. But they couldn't buy in the market where they had low interest rates because they didn't have the extra 20, 30, 40, $50,000 to put down over and above that price. They may
Yeah.
be waiting, but they're waiting for another market that's going to be back to the market that they were in, because you're going to have a big rush of home buyers that are going to be coming back out there.
I had to take a second to differentiate some price points, and so I had to isolate the $700,000 and up market. Now that's a
Okay.
market that I'm looking at right now and seeing that the inventory got up close to 5% in Collin County. That's pretty high
Yep.
compared to what we've seen in the past. Um, I mean, geez, August 2018, July 2018, there was 10 and a half months of inventory. It's still relatively low, and that's obviously a full-on buyer's market. But where we're at right now with seeing these prices, I'm sorry, yeah, this inventory
Inventory. Yeah.
under 5%, and it's actually started to slip. This actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me. How is it that the inventory interest rates went up in June?
Right.
In July, theoretically, in August, the inventory should have increased. It's actually gone down. I'm not sure if you're seeing this graph that it's actually gone down with these higher interest rates. Make sense, Bob. The interest rates, especially when we're purchasing luxury 700 and up,
Mhm.
that mortgage payment can blow up to several $1,000s higher than what it was, for instance, when people were being quoted at 3.5. Yet we're seeing this inventory go down month over month, and now it looks like it's going to trend in the same direction.
Yeah, I mean, I think from an inventory perspective, if you have builders that aren't starting as many homes, they're not building as many homes right now,
Hmm.
and then you look at where we were with equity. You had equity, home buyers equity, roughly about 19-20% in that 2008-2007 time period. Now we're almost at like 58%. They have of equity in their home,
Hmm.
and they are at a lower rate. So they're just holding on to their homes longer. I mean, they have that 2.5-3% interest rate, and they have a significantly more equity in their home. They're just going to hang on to that house a little bit longer, obviously given where interest rates are today. So they would have to trade out of that 2.5 with that equity to go to something that could be in the sixes
Hmm.
in today's market. So I think they're holding on just like some of the buyers are that are on the waiting, on the fence, waiting to see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll be back to normal. And when we see a more relaxed market, inventory going up a little bit because they're starting to sell their homes because interest rates have come down, the trade-off between 2.5 or 3%
Hmm.
and 5.5 or 5% isn't going to be that big of a number to them if they're wanting to do something with their next phase in their life.
Yeah, no, I concur. I completely get it. So, Bob, tell me. I want to digress and let you get into your mortgage update. Tell me, what are people locking in at these days?
I mean, again, it all depends on, like, are we doing buy downs? Are we doing just permanent buy downs, regular, no cost, no point quotes? I mean, it's just really very, very personal. I mean, we had a great week last week, and as we said, bonds. They had a friend in the 50-day moving average with the 10-year within the 10-year Treasury, and our
Hmm.
friend came through. The 10-year did bounce back down off of that 50-day moving average, and that helped bonds. And that's why we got a pretty good little improvement in interest rates last week. So that what we were looking at last Monday actually came through, in our 10-year Treasury bounced off that 50-day. We saw a nice run in mortgage bonds. It broke above the ceiling of resistance that we had talked about last week, and we got a little nice pop with interest rates. So anybody that wasn't locked, we were able to review those and see if there was a good time to lock at that point. Um, Today we have a couple of things going on, but the main one, St. Louis Fed President James Bullard is speaking. He actually has already spoken already at 10 a.m. Eastern time,
Okay.
and he's a market mover. So we need to be a little patient this morning to see kind of what his comments are gonna come out as, and how that market reacts. Because last time he spoke, he said that he feels that the Fed could go all the way up to a 7% Fed fund rate, right?
Okay.
And that really the market overreacted, and thankfully with a little patience we recovered from his comments. And if he's that aggressive today, we're going to stay patient, because we know from past experience, we learned from that we don't need to necessarily rush into something just based on that one individual's commentary. The good news, though,
Yeah.
is he only has one more meeting left as a voting member, December 14th, and then he's out for 4 more years. So we don't have to worry about his hot sports opinions as it
Sure.
relates to what the Fed should be doing with the interest rates.
Yeah, we can do
Uh,
without the HSOs causing volatility.
I mean, and that's what the market does. I mean, it really reacts to what commentary is being put out there, and then it just needs to settle in and give us a little bit more time. And that's what we experienced last time. So if his comments are that way, we'll be patient and not rush to anything that we feel is going to be a quick decision for clients. Right now, the bonds are up 3 basis points, so we're holding good. We're trading in a really tight trading range right now. So we'll see how we battle against that 100-day moving average, if we can go above that, and if there's good market news related from his comments, and the Treasury bounces below the floor that we're at now, then we have a pretty good run up, which could see another 3/8 to even a half a point
Yeah.
decrease in interest rates. So I mean, rates move, right? I mean, we watch it every day. We're watching to see what that commentary looks like. We're putting buyers in the best possible position to lock in at the best time.
Sure.
So, I mean, we're still seeing, rates in the sixes now. I mean, we got those all day long. It just depends on how the customer wants to pay. If they want to pay points, they don't want to pay points, depending on how long they plan on keeping the house. We're really looking at points as something that they should pay if the seller is paying it, because we're looking at potentially, if the market does exactly what we expect it to do, keep your cash, let the seller pay for it if we can negotiate that, and then we come in and do a refi in 2024 when the rates go back down in the fives.
What percentage of loans are you doing right now that are buy downs compared to your traditional?
Oh, I would say probably 25%, if not
Okay.
probably 30% are buy downs, because the sellers have, I mean, and this better than anyone out there in the market. I mean, the sellers are becoming more agreeable to
Terms, yeah.
lowering prices, right? Lowering their sales price.
Yep.
So what we're doing is we're saying, and we're talking to the buyers, and we're looking at that strategy and saying, look, we may not want to lower the sales price as much as what you think you want to. Let's go ahead and offer close to or at asking price, and then ask for that 10, 12, $15,000
Yeah.
in seller buy down points. And sellers are agreeing to that, which is great news on our side, because then we can get the client the rate that they're looking for to get the payment in line, and
Hmm.
then it doesn't cost them money. So when we come back and refi in a year, 14 months, 18 months, or whatever, they're not really losing any of that buy down cost that we had to use.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's good information. Hey, everybody, if you're just tuning in, I'm Tommy Wooten. We've got Bob Johnson, owner and CEO of bobmortgage.com, on for our Mortgage Minute. We broadcast live, streamcast live Monday mornings at 10. And we are wrapping up our Mortgage Minute. We got our home of the week. Um, we do this every week as a segment that we like, in which we have a look at some of the homes around DFW, and we can talk about them. This one is down in Dallas. It's a condo, actually,
Yeah.
on Carlisle Street, down.
Good area.
Yeah, the Uptown area. Uh, we were actually out there this weekend. My sister had come into town, and so we got a chance to get down and see her. But if you are not familiar with Uptown, I've got a video on Uptown. It's Uptown is made up of, goodness, I think it's 6 or 7 different neighborhoods, and it's a wonderful place for young professionals, for the retired that don't necessarily want to be in the suburbs in a traditional single family where you're going to have a yard to clean up
Yeah.
after. But we've got this home offered to us, presented to us by Joe Atkins Realty. This is 3210 Carlisle Street, Unit 51. It's a 2-bed, 2.5 bath condo, 2,300 square feet. Just not too far from the Katy Trail. Enjoy
Yeah.
breathtaking views from the rooftop of this transitional 3-story townhome style condo. This is one of the most sought after locations in the heart of Uptown, just across from the Katy Trail. Steps from West Village, McKinney Ave, and the trolley system. 2 beds, 2.5 bath. It's got an office, a rooftop deck, which I've got to tell you is really special about the Uptown area.
Hmm.
For those of you that are moving here from the coasts, this is, and you are, for instance, are from Boston, or maybe moving from Brooklyn or even Manhattan, something like that, which you're used to that urban style living, and you're looking at Texas and you're like, oh boy, this is going to be just so far from what is recognizable to me. We have that lifestyle here, and it's in Uptown. It's in Deep Ellum. It's in the Cedars. We have this, and it is around the downtown Dallas, around the downtown Dallas area. So that's a little bit of the description. This condo, I love it. Let me get into the photo gallery real
Yeah, it's
quick.
definitely a vibrant lifestyle there. I mean, that Katy Trail, the trolley system, everything that's around there it's so cool to be down there.
It is. The walkability
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
is, on a scale of, There's a website, I think it's walkable.com or what have you, but Uptown definitely does, get like an A+ for its walkability. You
Yeah.
don't need to own a car if you're living in Uptown. Um, it's cyclist friendly as well, not all of it, but it's definitely more walkable than
Yeah.
if you're going to be a cyclist. But a lot of the couriers down there, it's very similar to being in New York City or Boston or
Hmm.
one of the places that is highly dense in our country. Yeah, a lot of the couriers are on bicycles down there.
Yeah. Yeah. This is nice.
Yeah, very clean. As we pointed out, this is a 3-story listing on the market in the low $600,000 range.
Hmm.
This one's move-in ready. You see the wood floors. You see the uh,
Yeah, it's
newer.
very. I saw in the description Joe put in there, very townhome style condo. I mean, it does gives you that. It does give you that feel for sure.
We've got to differentiate for the people that are moving here. What the heck does that mean? Townhome style condo. All right. So it has a lot to do with what the HOA is taking care of. Okay. Um, Typically, in your condos, you're only having to take care of the interior.
Hmm.
What's inside the four walls is yours to maintain, to change, what have you. A traditional townhouse, uh, it's got a courtyard or a small backyard, and I think that's what they are referring to here. Uh, Perhaps I don't know if you can speak to this or not,
Hmm.
Bob. On the mortgage side, when going through the financing of it,
Right.
is there a difference in the insurance for
Yeah.
the townhouse and the condos as well?
Yeah, great question. I mean, we'll look at the HOA because they have an HOA fee that they pay per month, and we're looking at what does that HOA cover. And
Correct.
typically, they're covering the outside, the dwelling, everything on the outside of
Hmm.
that property, which means then the homeowner, their insurance, their monthly homeowner's insurance will be lower because they only have to insure the inside, much like they do when they rent, right? Like
Hmm.
renter's insurance. So your homeowner's insurance ends up being less per month because you're only having to insure the contents and the inside walls and everything, and then the HOA covers everything on the outside.
Yep. You
That's a
heard
third
it
floor,
first.
man. That's a good looking. That's nice. Is
Yeah.
that the master up there on the third?
It does look pretty elevated. You can see
Mhm.
out the windows nothing but
Yep.
trees, so we know it's not on the first floor. It is possible that it's on the second.
Second. Okay.
Oh, you know what? They say it's 3 stories. I wonder if I got to get to this rooftop terrace. That's a big bathroom.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a big bathroom. Traditional colors, right? It's not so modern.
Yeah.
You've got your stained cabinets rather than your, white painted gray or even that blue category. Big
Yeah. I mean,
soaking
honestly, you're
tub,
getting a
Jen.
lot for this price down in that area. I mean, usually you can see them go up a lot higher than this, so this is a good price for this.
Guys, this is the Katy Trail. Very popular hike bike trail in the Dallas area. Here's the community amenity, the pool area. Yeah, there's going to be a monthly HOA here. Breadwinners. Oh, it's not far from Breadwinners. I'm a sucker for
Yeah.
Breadwinners.
Yeah.
Such a good brunch there.
Yeah.
Such good breakfast.
They got all those bars right there. That's a good little street right there.
You're right, man. They built the
Not that I've
Breadwinners
been there.
up in the colony. Oh yeah, you got to get to Breadwinners sooner or later.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about the bars.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. True.
Yeah,
Um,
breadwinners definitely.
yeah. Now, I thought this said it had a rooftop terrace, so you'll have to forgive me. Did I miss it? 3 stories, rooftop. Uh, Rooftop deck. No pictures of the deck right now. That being said, let's talk a little bit about this price.
Yeah.
Let's say someone wants to get a little creative. I would guess that you're really just seeing, conventional
Yeah.
on this, since you can't go FHA on $625,000. That the
Yep.
cutoff is like in the 400s
Yep.
for FHA. Yes.
Yep, you're correct. So you're most of the time, I mean, what you're going to see is a traditional conventional loan. So they could, a buyer could walk in, and if they're a first time home buyer, put as little as 3% down on
Hmm.
this property, or they can put as much money as um, they want to put down. But it can go with as little as 3% down on something like this. So you can get in for 36,000 bucks, you know, on a 625 offer,
Hmm.
and you're roughly going to be looking at about 51, probably 5,100 bucks, I would imagine,
Sure.
in payment. That would include insurance and property taxes and mortgage insurance. That doesn't include the HOA, because you'll pay that separately. But if you're putting 3% down, about 5,100 bucks. But then put 20% down, then you're probably taking that payment down to around $4,200. Right.
Yep.
So it all depends on what the client's looking for as it relates to cash to close, and then how we dial that mortgage payment in for them.
Thank you for that information. I kind of want to put Uptown in front of the peeps here, because so many people are not familiar with Uptown.
Yeah.
Stellar location. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's got so much. It's very vibrant. I mean, you do have walkers, you have bikers, you have everything that's in walking distance. The West Village. I mean, all the shops and eateries and just the bars and just everything that you want to be around. I mean, it is definitely like living in a city.
It is.
At that point, like you said, you don't need a car. You can pretty much walk where you want to walk. Right. And then obviously with Ubers and everything else that we have, there's the trolley. That
There
thing's
is the
awesome.
trolley.
That'll
Yeah,
take you wherever you want to go in that
that it
uptown
will.
area.
Looks like they have it broken into, is it possible five, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, I think it's 7 neighborhoods. They're calling them boroughs now. Did you know that? Did you
No,
see
I
that?
didn't know that.
They're calling them the boroughs of Uptown,
That's
which
new. That's
that's, I'm not mad at it. You ever
no.
been to New York City?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I
Yeah,
understand the boroughs. That's all I was gonna say. It's more New York.
right.
Yep.
State Thomas, there is probably one of the only boroughs of Uptown that has single family. I don't know of
Okay.
any others that have single family, and it's your much older, Victorian, almost, uh, some of the oldest homes in Dallas are going to be in State Thomas, single
Yeah.
family wise. Um, Route South, lots more condos and townhouses.
Hmm.
Pearl, God, that's a beautiful area. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful. McKinney Ave,
Yep.
Lemon, Oak Grove, guys. For all of the people that have already relocated to Dallas and you moved to like Frisco or Prosper or Flower Mound, um, you've got to get to Uptown. I know that you've carved out a life for yourself, and you got your own grocery store, you got your place where you go shopping and this and that, and there's no need to go into Dallas whatsoever. Get outside your comfort zone and get down to Dallas.
Yeah.
Get to Uptown and just plan on spending a day
Yeah.
in Uptown.
Just explore.
Just explore. You'll be able to, make a day of it. Go to the symphony, go to the arts district. The design district is down there. Go catch a Mavs game, or a hockey game, and
Hmm.
just plan on spending the day down there, and you will realize why so many people continue to move to North Texas.
Oh, they continue to move here, and they continue to enjoy it. They stay. They're happy. I mean, we provide. We've talked about this before. We provide so much as a metroplex, to such a very big, diverse group of people from all over the world that are here.
Yep,
And I think that's just one small area of Dallas that speaks to it.
it is. It is. Bob, I appreciate you, my
Yeah, man.
friend. You have a great week. Keep in touch, and we will talk soon.
We'll talk to you at least next week for sure. See you, brother.
Definitely later.
Take care.
All right. That was Bob Johnson, owner and CEO of bobmortgage.com. He's a wealth of knowledge. Definitely reach out to him if you are trying to navigate the Dallas landscape, looking for a mortgage professional to help you figure out where you stand and where you want to be. Let's get into